La La Land is the newest film directed by Damien Chazelle, who of course made Whiplash, one of my all-time favorite movies. This movie tells the story of an actress who's played by Emma Stone, who has been in the Hollywood industry for a long time, yet has not gotten any roles. She's been to numerous auditions and has been rejected multiple times. There are people who might not even be listening to her because they got a phone call, or they might be asking their assistant for coffee. Ryan Gosling's character loves jazz. He is absolutely obsessed with it. He is thinking jazz 24/7. He doesn't have a girlfriend. And this movie tells the story about how they meet one night in a very special club and how they instantly fell in love with each other. But this movie goes even deeper to describe just how complex relationships can really be. Now, I was unbelievably excited for this movie. Why? Because Damien Chazelle is the writer and director. This man wrote Whiplash, which I said before is one of my all-time favorite movies. That film made a very personal connection to me, and I was so excited from that very first teaser trailer, and I just knew that this movie was going to be special. And guys, I am here to tell you that La La Land is the best movie I have seen this year. I absolutely loved everything about this movie. La La Land is honestly one of the best movies I have seen this entire decade. This movie transported me into this world, a world that usually I don't love because I am not a fan of musicals. I think people who dance in succession for 15 minutes at a time and they think every word is supposed to be some kind of musical cue should be locked away in a mental institution for life. I really do not like musicals, but this movie made an absolute exception. So let's talk about what I loved about this movie, which was basically everything. Ryan Gosling is easily becoming one of my favorite actors working today. I'm excited to see him in Blade Runner next year, but in this film, this is by far the best performance I have ever seen from him. When you watch Ryan Gosling play the piano, that is actually him. There's no stunt double, there's no hand double. I think it's incredible when an actor puts him or herself way ahead of the game and does things that you wouldn't necessarily expect an actor to be able to perform. Rarely will I ever say the casting of a particular person was perfect, but Emma Stone was perfect in this movie. I could not find one flaw with her performance. I think something that was also really interesting about her performance itself was that a lot of the experiences that happened during her auditions were things that happened to Emma Stone in real life.
Two options. You either follow my rules or follow my rules. Capiche?
Thank you.
I can do it a different way.
No, that's fine. Thank you.
The direction and writing by Damien Chazelle is absolutely on point. There is not a single pacing issue I have with this movie. It was seamless. Absolutely seamless. His writing is so concise. You feel every single beat of emotion they want you to feel. And that is, of course, accompanied by one of the best scores I have ever heard. The score in this movie blew my mind. It had this incredibly warm feeling to it, which leads me to the tone of this movie, which might be my favorite part of it all. For the entire movie, you knew exactly how to feel. This movie knew exactly what it wanted to be. This movie has moments where you feel extremely happy, but there are moments where you feel so emotional. Not spoiling anything, this movie has its incredibly fun moments, but it has its very dark and sad moments. But with those moments, you always get this warm feeling like they're inviting you in to experience the life of these people. I really felt like I was with these characters the whole time. Because there are certain films where it takes a while to get into the story, but with this movie, you get into it immediately. I felt like I was a fly on the wall observing these characters live out their lives. Now, a lot of films by the same director feel very similar. They might have similar themes, they might have similar storylines. What I really appreciate about La La Land is that it's a very different story than Whiplash, but it maintains very similar themes to that movie. This is something that Damien Chazelle excels at. He's able to craft a really compelling story as long as he gets his jazz in there, because I know that Damien Chazelle loves jazz. I think this movie did a great job of homaging classical musicals, because I love West Side Story. That is the one musical that I absolutely love, and there are moments of this movie that felt just like it. The performances are all top-notch. Damien Chazelle's writing and directing is incredible. It is flawless. The music will stick in your head for a long time. Justin Hurwitz, I believe that's how you pronounce his last name, thank you so much for providing another incredible soundtrack. I have been listening to it all week. I cannot get La La Land out of my head. I cannot wait to revisit it. This film, for me, was an absolute masterpiece. If I could find one possible flaw in this film, the one thing that I could say I wish there could have been a little bit more of, or I wish they could have done it better, is J.K. Simmons. He's not in the movie that much. I would have wanted him to be in it more, but I don't want to compare his performance in this movie to his performance in Whiplash, because Whiplash's performance was so much different. I don't want to compare it. I feel like it would be unfair if I did that. But that never bothered me because everything else about this movie was phenomenal. I loved La La Land, and if you have not guessed it, I, of course, award this film an A+. If I could use one word to describe La La Land, it would be beautiful. This is an absolutely beautiful movie, and I loved all of it. So guys, if you have seen La La Land, what did you think? Did you like it? Did you somehow dislike it? I don't know how that's possible. Or did you think it was just alright? Whatever opinion you have, I would love to hear it in that wonderful comment section below. Thank you so much for watching this review. I had such a blast talking about this movie. It was beautiful. Thank you so much as always for watching, and stay tuned.